Welcome back to Knives and Tequila.
Oh, but you don't want to eat your vegetables?
No. How dare you turn your nose up at these beautiful plants? Bet you haven't even had a squash before, let alone the delicious squash we're gonna cook up today. So follow along, because today we're introducing the green chili chicken squash boats. Enjoy. Before we get started, a quick note from our non-tequila sponsor, Key, a platinum extra añejo. And I drink it neat because it's fucking delicious. Now we're on to the squash boats. And today we've got 2 fat loss codes that's just gonna turn your brain into shit. Now, before we get cutting up our squash, we're gonna start with our ground chicken. And we are using 97.3 lean ground chicken. Don't wanna eat that. Don't wanna eat that. So for our ground chicken, all we're gonna have in this is garlic paste. It's just a tablespoon of garlic paste, which I don't really know what that does. We can look that up later. And a little ground cumin. Now we're just cooking this chicken about 70% of the way through. Then we're gonna add some things. I'm sure that garlic paste is really doing the trick with this one. While we're letting this ground chicken brown, we're gonna preheat the oven to 400. And we're still getting to about 70% on this chicken, and we'll start with our vegetables, which also brings us to fat loss code number 1. That's good. Now vegetables, not only are you getting a ton of micronutrients, which help you not feel like dog shit, but you get food volume. So people always think of dieting as eating less, but if you add a bunch of vegetables to your diet, you can actually eat more and still stay under calorie goal. And now we have our yellow squash split open. And at this moment, you're probably going, you liar, it's not a vegetable. I see them seeds, it's a fruit. Call it what you want, it's delicious and filling. So to get this out, we're just scraping right in there because we need to create a nice crevasse for our meats. Now I want a lot of space for my meats, so I'm gonna get pretty deep like. Now that our boats are cleared and we're a little past 70% done here, we're going to add some Hatch green chilies. We're actually gonna add a cup. And in addition to the green chilies, we're using brown and wild rice. Now, of course, you could cook it yourself or you could use minute rice. It's a lot faster. And we're just going a cup. And we mix away. And now that our mixture is complete and our oven's preheated, what perfect timing. And we're throwing our meats inside. This might get a little messy. You find a smoother way to do it. And now that we've got our meat-filled boats, we're gonna add some sliced cherry tomatoes. Stay on there. Beautiful boats getting some color. Now topping it with a little cilantro. It's hard to spread with wet fingers. And last, we're gonna top it off with some mozzarella cheese because we want this goodness to melt on top in the oven. All right, now that our boats are full, we're going to the oven for 20 minutes. And these look glorious. And now on to fat loss code number 2, cutting carbs. Much like this low carb drink, if you've made a dish with low carbs in the hopes of fat loss, that's great. But don't get it confused because there's no magic to this recipe. All you're simply doing is cutting calories. That is it, which is great for fat loss. So keep it up and enjoy one of these delicious green chili chicken zucchini boats. If you like what we're cooking up in the kitchen, be sure to subscribe and we'll give you more recipes that you could or could not make. But we encourage you to make them. Just make them.